Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new, thanks for clicking on the video. Hopefully everyone had a nice holiday break. I know it's been a while. As you can see, I'm in the mountains and I'm actually in Snowdonia, Wales, which I didn't realize, but it's actually been a really long time since I've been back here. I think I was here last February, so almost a full year. And I'm actually back to do a camp in an area that I had previously gone to. So today I'm actually going to be heading up in the same direction that I did that camp. This time heading up this part, which is a bit sketchy, and the reason I wanted to bring a smaller backpack today. So I'll be heading up this next to that waterfall slash stream that you see there, and just above that, below the snowy peaks, is actually a smaller llyn that I'd like to check out. So that's the destination for today. It is still winter, so it's gonna get dark around 4 o'clock or a little bit after 4 o'clock now. I've got to get a move on, so I'm just gonna get my head down and try to get up there as quick as possible so we can set up the tent in the daylight. Let's get hiking. So that's where we just came from, down in the pass. Actually from that direction. And we came through the pass and then up to this spot. Almost there. This isn't a particularly long hike. It is a bit more technical, especially when we get to there, where there's quite a scramble. Just slowly making my way up. This is that stream slash waterfall that we looked at in the distance. I'm just kind of working my way around, and then just over the top right there is the destination for tonight. It's going on 2:30 right now, so I have about an hour and a half before sunset, so I'm actually making really good time, so I should be able to set up in the light, which is always good. And I actually brought the drone with me this time, which was one of the things I did not get to do last time I was in this area. So I'm hoping to fly the drone once we get up there. A little bit more to go. Well, this is one of the things I was afraid of. As you can see, this is all ice. And it pretty much goes all the way along the path up. I was afraid this might happen. The temperatures are supposed to be, I think, down to -4, -5 tonight, with a pretty chilly wind chill of around -12, so it's gonna get cold. I knew it would ice over, but luckily there's enough grassy areas. I'm gonna attempt to try to kind of come along here and stick to the grass, because obviously you can't go up that. It's just way too dangerous. So I'll probably put away the camera for a little bit until I'm at least up there a little bit closer to the top, because like I said, we're actually cutting back around and heading up over that. So if you saw my post on Instagram, this is actually why I brought the 45-liter pack. So I have my full pretty extreme winter setup in this pack that I'm looking forward to try out tonight, but instead of using my 70-liter pack, which is what I normally would use in winter, and actually what I used last time I did this, I knew, having done this when it was wet, not ice, that it's already pretty tricky and sketchy, especially with a big pack. So I crammed everything I could into this much smaller 45-liter pack, just to kind of get the center of mass closer to my body, to make it a bit easier to scramble up this bit. Makes it quite a bit safer coming down as well, which can actually be even more difficult sometimes. A little more to go, almost there. Whew. Taking shelter behind this rock real quick. The winds have picked up and I've lost all feeling in my fingers. I can't even feel the rock when I touch it anymore. You can see they're bright red. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my gloves on. Oh, my face is getting numb too. Oh yeah, yeah, it'll be nice to get up there and get the tent set up. Best gloves I've ever owned. So this is the reason why I wanted to bring the smaller pack. Definitely not ideal with a big 70-liter pack. But at least this section right here in the middle doesn't have ice. All of that does, so I'm gonna have to stick to here and work my way up. Obviously I'm gonna have to put away the camera for this, so I'll see you when I get up there. Check out this view. There's no great areas to grab here. Oh. Oh. Yeah, having different areas cut off because of the ice doesn't make it any easier. Almost there though. Ooh. It is brisk up here. All right, hardest part's done. Just a little ways to go. And then we're there. That's the island I camped on the last time I was here. I'll link that video up here. Pretty cool spot. But today I'm headed up here, and just over this is another llyn I've been wanting to check out. Cool area. What a view. Definitely a bit windy up here. All right, made it to our destination. Whether or not I camp here though, we'll have to see. Oh wow. Look at that. What a great swimming hole too. Yeah, plenty of areas to pitch it looks like. Could probably go right up there, maybe over there. Wow, so pretty up here. A nice little stream coming off the llyn. So I'm gonna go check out over here just to gauge where I should pitch It is a bit windy, and it's actually, when I first was planning this trip, it was only supposed to be like 5-10 mile per hour winds. It's going to be nice, but then as the days have gone on, the forecast kept changing. 15, then 20, 25, and now it's even saying 35 mile per hour winds starting, I think, around 2 a.m. Oh, sorry if I sound funny. My face my face is actually going numb from the wind. But yeah, so I don't want to pitch in too exposed of an area. This actually seems like a nice area. It's not exactly level though. All right, I do need to make a decision though, because it's less than an hour before sunset, so I'll get back with you once I decide. All right, this is as good as it's gonna get. Absolutely frozen. I'm gonna go ahead and get my beanie on first. Because the winds have steadily increased the forecast, I recently picked up the 10mm poles for my Unna. I went ahead and brought those, but I also brought the 9mm poles as well, which given the winds already gusting pretty strong, I'm gonna go ahead, since I carried them up here, and just double pole it. So even though I'm a little exposed, I should still be okay. Impressive how small you can get this tent. A lot more stable now. So all pitched. Took a little bit longer than I expected it to. The wind was giving me some issues, but double poled, put some extra guys, as you can see there, on the windward side, which is coming from the northeast, just to help reduce a little of the blowing around. But yeah, she's pretty solid. I had to get pretty close to the water, unfortunately. A lot of that was all marshy up there, down there. This was ironically the driest spot right near the water, and also the somewhat flattest, so just where it's going to be for tonight. Don't think I'm going to get the drone out. It's actually not bad, as you can hear right this second, but it's just too windy. Some of the gusts that are coming through are I think in the range that was predicted. I just wanted to come over here real quick with the last of the light. Sun just set, but wow, what an incredible spot this is. Look at that view. Absolutely stunning. So as you can see, as the wind's coming through now on the water there, the tent's holding stable. Yeah, getting some pretty big gusts actually, and it's supposed to get even worse later tonight. I'm not worried, but I am really glad I brought the double poles just to be on the safe side. All right, I can't be out in this anymore. My hands are completely numb. My face is numb. I'm actually having a hard time talking, or at least it feels like I sound different or something. I don't know, it's weird. But my muscles and my lips just aren't working right. All right, so let's get in and get warmed up. But before that, just maybe grab some water real quick. Shouldn't be difficult, it's right here. That way I don't have to get out later. The water's actually so much warmer than the air temperature. It's freezing. What a view though. Very excited to get into the tent and out of the wind. Nice to get out of the wind. And boy, is it windy. They are gusts though, so it's nice because it does die down, but man, when they come through, they're pretty strong. It's so much warmer in the tent. The spot I picked is not exactly level. It's very lumpy, but I think it's just frozen, so once it thaws out a bit, it should the grass should kind of even out a little bit more, hopefully. Go ahead and get comfortable. I'm gonna get my puffy on and just try to warm up. I'll get back with you guys in a little bit. Give you an idea how cold it is. Everything's starting to freeze, even inside the where I set my bag down. It got wet, but it froze and took all the grass with it. It's interesting. This camp's actually quite a bit colder, significantly colder actually than the last camp I did, which was actually in the snow. And the wind chill, really, brutal. I think I said on the hike up here, it's negative 12 degrees with the wind chill tonight. So pretty cold. A buff really goes a long way in helping keep you warm too. So I'm officially warmed up. Got some cozy socks on. I just messaged my wife on the inReach. I think it's time to start cooking. So I believe I mentioned this in my previous video that I've done with the Unna. It doesn't have a very large vestibule. I just have my shoes. See, just my shoes there right now. So what you have to do is just unclip the inner slightly. So I just usually do these 3 clips here. Alright, so just fold that back now. Now you have this whole space you can use. I have the footprint on, so I can use it without the inner, but you can also take this off and create a big open space like that. Very excited to try this out tonight. Yeah, it really stinks I didn't get to use the drone. It takes up so much space. As you can see, it takes up half of the front pocket in these 2 containers here. But That's how it is sometimes. So tonight on the menu is a coconut curry. Pretty excited about it. All the ingredients nicely packed. Let's get started. My daughter's hair tie. It works well just to keep the lid on. So today, because I wanted a little bit better simmer control, I'm actually going to be using the burner that goes with the Trangia. Oh, there's that wind again. Such a versatile little lightweight stove. So for this coconut curry, I'm going to be using lamb. When I make it for the family, I've used chicken, which is really great as well. I'll use those tiny chicken tenderloins, but I really like lamb, so I'm going to do it with lamb tonight. So first thing I'm going to do is sear it off. I'm going to use a little of the korma curry paste just to coat the lamb. I love how low you can get the Trangia burner. It's super great for simmering. All right, so there it is. Coconut lamb curry. Pretty good. Super simple, especially if you use the curry paste. Very tasty. So what I put on top at the end, I believe it's called a coconut sambal. It's just like a coconut chutney. Kind of adds to the whole theme of the dish. Really good. The chickpeas and everything absorb the coconut flavor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's excellent. Super flavorful. One pan dish. Added a little rice on the side. And I have a few tiny little pitas that I'll kind of wipe the pan with to eat it at the end. It works really well with chicken, but if you like lamb, like I do, oh boy, I'm making a mess. Oh yeah, works so well with lamb. All right, well, I'm gonna tuck into this, and I'll get back with you when I'm finished. Trangia 25 non-stick pan worked pretty good this trip. It's not as good as the Jetboil, but as long as you don't abuse it and crank the heat too high, it actually works fantastic. And it's a pretty decent size dish. As you can see, I just got the inner set back up. The winds died down pretty much the entire time I was cooking. Occasionally I'd get a big gust. I can tell they're starting to pick up again, but it's not too bad. So for tonight I don't have a beer. Unfortunately I'm doing dry January, so instead I just have a sparkling water. Kind of wish I had a beer, but oh well. So I'm going to enjoy my sparkling water, and then I'm going to get the sleep system set up. It is a new sleep system for me, so I'm pretty excited to show you guys. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you haven't seen it before, but in the last video I did, I actually talked about it a tiny bit, that I'd be getting it. So I do have that sleep system with me. I'm going to use it tonight. All right, I'm going to enjoy my seltzer. Cheers. I mean, at least it's a little different than water. One of the coolest new addition to the sleep system. So this beast, the Thermarest Polar Ranger, -20 or -30, depending on your units, bag. It's extremely overkill for most camps here in the UK, but it is luxurious, super puffy, and extremely comfortable. So I'm very excited to try this out tonight. And it packs down to a very small size, as you can see, which is really cool. Kind of a bit of a pain to get it into the compression bag, but once you do, it's super easy to really scrunch it down. That's the beauty of 800 fill down. It compresses so much. So this is the first bag I've ever owned that's top zip, which is super cool. So you get in it through the top. It's also got armholes or venting holes, however you want to use it. Both zips open from the bottom or the top. Most likely I'll have to open this just a bit, just so I'm not too hot tonight. But as you can see, it is super thick and lofty, extremely comfortable. And actually the hood, when it's all zipped up, it has a kind of a snorkel. So I've done cowboy camping before, and you know, this would be an awesome thing to have, just so the cold breeze over your face doesn't, you know, freeze your nose. You have this little snorkel, and this is a synthetic fill around that part, which allows you to kind of breathe out while staying warm. So yeah, super excited to try it out. It's really, really nice. Nice and thick. super cozy. I'm not even gonna use hot water bottle or hot hands tonight. I did bring them just in case my feet were cold, just sitting in the tent, but I've been fine. Just sitting on this kind of foam pad here. So the pad's a long wide, 8.5 R value, and this is a negative 20 degree Fahrenheit sleeping bag. So definitely a pretty bomber cold weather setup. And if I was still going on longer trips, I'd probably still bring the closed cell foam pad, especially if I was like camping on snow, and just because it's so useful. Also just being comfortable in the tent when you don't have your sleep system out. On the nights like this where it's below freezing, but there's no snow on the ground, this worked just fine. And I'm very excited to see how this works out tonight. And definitely one of the coolest features, or goofiest, is that you don't actually have to get out of your sleeping bag to get stuff done. So tonight when I hang out in the tent, I'm just going to, hang out like this. Provided it doesn't get too hot. I'll definitely have to take off my puffy and everything. Not necessarily needed in temperatures really here in the UK, because it rarely gets that cold. But if you're going to really low temps like -20, this is definitely pretty cool. So like tonight, if I need to reach for something in the middle of the night, I won't get out of my sleeping bag. I'll just pop an arm out. And it's also beneficial because then all that heat that you've created in your bag stays in there. So yeah, kind of cool. Don't have to get out of the bag. I look like a big orange marshmallow. So ridiculous. Oh wait, didn't even show you the hood yet. How ridiculous do I look? Super toasty. I love it. Just a really cool bag. And the fact that it packs down so small is a real bonus. Yeah, super excited about it. Hopefully though, I don't get too hot tonight. I'll definitely be shedding some layers, and I'm convinced I'll be comfortable, especially if I open up the side vents. Alright guys, I've just been hanging out for a little bit, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and head to bed. So the wind's still intermittent, so is the snow. I'm getting occasional snow showers. Jeez. So yeah, as you can see, the wind, there's still a few gusts. It's really not that bad though, and it's not supposed to get any stronger, I don't think, until around 3 a.m. So that's when it's really start to get windy. So hopefully these 10 mil poles and double poling it rather will actually pay off. But it's been handling the strong gusts really well, so I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully nothing eventful happens tonight, and I'll catch you guys in the morning. Good night.
Ooh. It was a long night. I don't know if you guys can hear it on camera, but the winds were just howling. I can't imagine what it must be like on top of the mountain. I'm not getting the crazy sustained winds the same way, but I'm getting the big gusts every 15 seconds or so. Some pretty big ones too. But the tent's done well. I'm really happy I brought the second pole though. I think it probably would have been okay still. It just guyed out properly like it is. but it's just nice to have that extra peace of mind with the double poles in there. I know nothing's gonna happen, which is nice, especially when you're getting those really pounding gusts in the middle of the night. You don't have to like worry about it as much. I got as much sleep as I could. Wasn't the best, but the sleeping bag was absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh. It's like being in a hotel room when you get the super thick, comfy duvet on top of the bed. That's what this feels like. It's just so fluffy and, oh yeah, it's just great. And there's plenty of room inside to spin around. Really love the bag. The sleeping pad, on the other hand, I don't know, the jury's still out. It's warm, but it's also not. I don't know how to describe it. Like right now, my bare arm is laying against it, and I can actually feel the heat radiating back at me. But when laying down, occasionally, like my hip or my legs will get not cold, but not warm, more like a cool sensation, which I don't know. I feel like it should not be the case with an 8.5 R value. But again, for years, the rating system for sleeping pads has just been absolute garbage. So you really can't go by, the R values. It's still extremely comfortable, just like my other Nemo tensor. In that regard, it's fantastic, and I love the extra length, which I really needed. Just not as warm as I would have hoped, in a weird way. I don't know. I was fine. In any case, enough rambling. It's time for coffee. Air pad's taking up too much space, so I'm gonna have to deflate. It's moving a little bit slower because all the ice inside of it. I don't know if you guys can see that. Everyone probably knows this already, but just flip your water bottle upside down in the night and that'll keep it from completely freezing on you. Wow. All the ice crystals from when I cleaned it. That was a big one. Just gonna enjoy my coffee and then. Oh man. I'm gonna get packed up. Hopefully there's enough light then. Once I've packed up everything inside the tents, I can get out and pack this away. It's gonna be a tiny bit of a challenge doing it in the wind as quickly as possible, just not to freeze. Toughest thing about this bag is getting it back in the stuff sack to cinch it down. Cinching it down's easy, but man, getting it in here, because it's a narrow top, can be quite difficult. It's been 5 minutes of me trying to get this. Yeah, this is a thermarest. Please, I get why it's long so you can cinch down the moat, but just make it a tiny bit wider. That's all we need. Just a little bit more width, so you could cram it in a tiny bit easier. This is a workout in and of itself. Beautiful.
beautiful morning. Ooh, that wind is cold though. And as you can see, it did a number on the llyn. It's ice now. I could actually hear the ice forming last night, cracking and reforming. It's a really weird sound. Tent did well though. All the guys are still in, still strong. Definitely got battered last night. Yeah, everything looks great. All right, time to get this tent packed away so I can get off the mountain. What a beautiful area. Look at this morning. I gotta get the tent down. I've been too distracted. It's just so pretty. Well, that could have been bad. This is the way to slowly bring it down. You just have to unclip the back so it gives. Just pull those poles down flat. And now you can easily slide them out. This way the tent is still bolted to the ground. Just unclip the leeward side and you could lay it flat and then push the poles out. The only bad thing about bringing a small bag is I have to pack it a very certain way in order to fit everything inside. I'm gonna have to take my puffy off because I'll just sweat way too much. Coming. All right, leave no trace as always. Not even a footprint. All right, time to get down this windy mountain. Ooh, it's cold. Gok. And Snowdonia is just right behind me over this peak. Whew. Back down we go. Wow. On a day that's not windy, this would be a fantastic spot. Look at that, nice and flat with those views. I gotta remember this right here. Absolutely epic spot. So I haven't been filming too much. It's just been windy and just came down this bit up there, which just as sketchy going down as it is going up. So not too far now. Just got to head down. I'm following basically the stream all the way to the valley, and then you can see actually the road off in the distance down there. So that's where I'm headed. Alright guys, it's pretty much smooth sailing from here, so I think I'm going to end the video. Hopefully you like the camp. Definitely a bit windier than I had originally planned it to be when I first looked or started looking to come on this trip, but that's how it is, especially here in Snowdonia. Like, it's always windier than predicted. Good trip. Got to use some of my new winter setup, which I was super excited for. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I guess I'll leave a link or something in the description, just if you want to see the bag and the pad and the new pump I was using. Whew. Hopefully you can hear me with the wind. I am going to get an external mic eventually. I'm just waiting for DJI to come out with the second edition of their mic. So once they do, I'll get that, and hopefully that'll improve the audio a bit. My next camp will probably be in a hot tent, a really big hot tent actually. I'll discuss that more when the time comes. Hopefully you'll like the video. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. Please like, share, get outside. Later.